like a really good space because I've got a desk, and I want to thank my producer and my team today. So we're going to get into a whole lot today on VGMAs, the Free Music Awards, because these are the platforms that give artists the platform, and awards are that space where people get appreciated for what they've done. So we need to have that conversation since the VGMAs are coming up. I am Jason Alea. I'm your host for today on Plus 233 Chat. If you don't know what we talk about everything that has to do with Ghana, getting our artists to that place in the music industry, from our actors, directors, presenters, DJs, MCs. How can we get to that place, So, yeah, MX24 is the place to be. And again, I'm excited because I've got a desk. I've been asking for this for ages, and finally I've got one. But apart from all of this, we want to give up-and-coming unsung artists the space also. So what we're going to do is we're going to call these artists the unsung stars, because one thing I heard is when you shine from within, you don't necessarily need a spotlight, and I've always lived by this, but there are some artists who are really breaking into that space, into that spotlight, and today I've got an amazing guest. She goes by the name Lucia. And just to break in today's show, just to show you how much we're going to support these artists, what we're going to do today is we're going to have her perform, but check this out. When we come back, we're going to continue the conversation.
And leave me in the cold. I'm sorry, was I say about it, say me. Your love is more than gold. Although me jaw na ma don't whine. Family, I'll be your woman for all times. Oh, here more si came more. I'm more sumu. Jimmy D, may I will show my true quine. Like the shadow by your side. Boy, I will be there for a time. Momo can your mubeka. It's the other means the sun. Other con your door. Intermediate means the sun. Jay, yenyame yama. Intermediate means the sun. Obey munye besibia. I have a friend in you. Oh, me to say oh hima, na me chimi me de, na me yoba. If I would do, tame. No, never. She shame me wa pike mu, na ye me hine wakume mu. Na yenua na mihia odo wenua na mepe won kan yo mobeka me see other means the sun other kon yo do wo intermediate means the sun odey yenyame yama intermediate means the sun obrey mu nye besibia. I have a friend in you. I'll be your woman for all times. Oh, here was a kemo. I'm osumu. Jimmy D, may I will show my true quine. Like the shadow by your side. Say, oh, bray muya dinkura. Other means the sun. Other con your door, intermediate means a sarada. Oday, yama, intermediate means a son. Yeah, the edo ye back where ye. Other means a son. Dada, wada, may a man I intermediate means a son. Ya me yani your dome, Comorea. Other means a son. Nana, mate, mido yi woma unkwa. Medani ye wuda, mekoni ye wubeko. Fi se ada koni ada wo. Whoa. Media means the sun. Ada means the sun. Media means the sun.
Yeah, so as you've seen, we're going to do this every single week. Today, our guest or our unsung star is Lucia. We're going to talk to her, how she got into music, how the journey has been so far, her plans, you know, her social media, getting into that space. And yeah, that's what it's about. I always say we want to give artists who are not out there that space, that we call them the unsung stars. They're already stars, but we're just giving them a little push. So guys, check this out. As soon as we get back, we're going to a very deep conversation today. The VGMAs is what everyone is talking about, you know, from the nominations list. It's a whole lot. So check this out when we get back. I have a big guest in the studio. Enjoy. Yes. So if you just tuned in, this is Plus2 TV Chat. Send us messages on social media, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere, MX24. I am at Jason EL_A, Jason LA. Big shout out to my man Sheldon. He was just on, you know, check our stuff on YouTube. We upload all the content just in case you miss anything, right? Because we're all about being as interactive as possible with you guys. Now, again, we had Lucia on. She's going to come on and we're going to talk more, you know, in depth about her music, about giving her this space, and yeah, getting her to that next place. So, guys, if you know artists, you want to give them that platform, you know, send us messages, like bombard me with messages. I really don't mind, you know, talking to you guys is everything. That's all I'm about. So we're going to get into that. But as I said, today we're focusing on the VGMAs, from the controversies to the nominations to past winners to who might win what this year, and a whole lot. Now, rightly so, we have the head of communications for Charterhouse, because Charterhouse does organize the VGMAs for many years on end. I mean, like I said, there have been some controversies, and they've done quite a good job, you know, in terms of keeping the standards high, you know, giving the right artists the right awards. And the thing is, with every single award show, there's going to be some controversy. Even with the Grammys, there were some controversies. So it makes sense when people don't agree, you know. It's called healthy competition, I guess. So we're going to get into all that. So like I said, today we have the head of communications for Charterhouse. I called him a big man, but he doesn't agree. Would you take your mask off for those who want to see?
So those of us who've
because we're already doing social distancing.
Those of us who've had COVID-19 before.
Oh, you have?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, how was that?
It was a near-death experience.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, a lot of people don't believe there is COVID.
Oh.
They have this superstition. So before we get into the conversation, for health reasons, because yeah, MX24, all about staying healthy, what would you tell them in terms of wearing the mask, you know, washing their hands and staying healthy?
So do as I'm doing, wear the mask.
Okay, so he's not going to wear the mask.
Of course, obviously the hands, you know, you always have to wash them when you have to. Use the hand sanitizers, etc. But, you know, be conscious about it.
A nice one. So please introduce yourself. We're going to post these pictures on Instagram, just in case you guys want to see his face. So please introduce yourself rightly.
Okay, so I'm Robert Clark. I'm head of communications and public events for Charterhouse.
Yeah.
Anything else?
He's a big man. He's a big man because head of communications, right? So it's rightly. So we're going to be talking about the VGMAs. How many years have you been part of Charterhouse, for those who don't know?
That's in me.
Yeah, you personally.
I have. So I started working with Charterhouse in 2005.
Wow. That's like 16 years.
Yeah, but that's on projects.
Okay.
And then I went to work in Charterhouse full-time in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2012, I've been there full-time, and then till present.
Is your job difficult? And when I say difficult, I mean because you have a lot of people who question you, who want to know what you're doing. Like you're head of communication, you have to answer a lot of people, right? Would you say it's tedious? How is your job? If you were to tell someone who didn't know about head of communication.
Just to use your words, it's tedious, that's one. It's challenging, it's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
You need the energy.
Yeah.
So, because there's a lot of, you need energy to be able to work. There are long hours of work. There are long meetings, long sessions of discussions, long things you need to evaluate. You need to understand your space. You need to understand what's new. You need to understand what's happening,
Yeah.
where the trends are.
Yeah.
You need to be in the space to understand it. You need to be able to feed yourself.
Nice.
And you need to still be creative in the midst of all the stress. So it's a lot of things that you are supposed to juggle. And you have to juggle and juggle it well. Unfortunately, the public is always the one to determine whether you've done a good job or
You
not.
know?
If it were just left to you, you can always, cry at home, and then if you do stuff and then you are not good, you are not happy with it, you just go home and then challenge, you take it like that. But when the public has to make a decision on your efforts, that's the crazy stuff.
I mean, we have put ourselves in a position where we're basically giving ourselves out to get criticized, right? So, criticized rightly so. And the VGMAs, I mean, let's dive straight into it. I mean, again, congratulations, because I feel like if you can do anything past 5 years, you're doing a pretty good job. Even with business, if it goes past 3-5 years, you're doing a pretty good job. So, congratulations to you.
Even with marriage, eh?
I mean, I've never been married, so
Even with relationship.
yeah, I've been in just one before. But anyway, we're focusing on the VGMAs. And this year, what is new about the VGMAs this year? Because people want to know. What's new about it?
Well, when you say what's new about VGMA, that's a tall list of things, because from submission of entries itself,
Yeah.
were changes in there. We just went strictly to internet-based submission only. Last year was, I think it was a hybrid, but this year it's just online.
Okay.
And we had the biggest entries ever.
So when you say submission, is this the artist submitting their songs?
To submit your songs, to submit your entries, because we need the details from you. And then with that submission process also comes you giving your consent to be part of the scheme, so that in case we use your image, artworks, anything, we are not going to have issues, that kind of stuff. So basically, that process. So there in itself, that was a difference, and we had over 1,000 subscriptions, which is actually one of the reasons why it impacted our delay in nominees announcements, because we had a lot of work to do.
Because I think before we used to hear stuff like artists didn't know how to submit their songs, and artists used to question the reason they had to submit their songs if the song was big.
Yeah. So
yeah.
If your artists are okay. So the reason why we need these things to be submitted is just because we are looking for them to give their consent.
Okay.
And then there's some kind of information that we also need that sometimes we'll say, like it's easier, give it to me.
Yeah.
So that it's easier for me to run, as opposed to me searching for it and going to make a mistake and assuming that this is the writer of the song, only for me to discover that somebody else wrote the song.
Okay.
And that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just share the info with us. It's not anything else where you have your labels doing that on your behalf.
Okay. So the thing is, no matter how big your song is, if you don't submit your song, you're not going to get nominated. Is it possible you can have a song so big you don't have to submit it and it could get nominated? Has that ever happened before?
If your song is big, our research will capture it. But when we capture it, we'll still need you to give your consent.
Okay.
Because the submission, one of the key things you are looking for, primary thing you are looking for, is for you to give your consent.
Okay.
You have to say, you are okay for us to want to...
It's like using someone's content, right?
Exactly. So I'll use your image to do an artwork on VGMA. That's so and so is a nominee. That it is you. Yeah. And if you don't want me to use it, how do I use it if you are not giving me the permission to do that? So we just want people to be able to give that particular.
So that makes perfect sense. I mean, a lot of people used to ask and were wondering why their songs didn't get nominated. So I guess you've answered it. They need your permission to use your content. Talking about content, last year's controversy, right? We're going to get into that. We have a video that's going to come up. But there was this thing where it seemed like Shatta Wale and Stonebwoy were nominated without their consent. Now, we need you to clear the air. Did this happen? Did they get nominated without their consent? Did they not?
When?
This is what we've heard. I mean, it's on Twitter, it's on Facebook.
This year, they've been nominated?
No, they're saying that people were saying that their songs were being considered for nomination. Is that true, yes or no?
So what it is, once you are big, your songs will be captured in our research anyways. Yeah. So even if you don't give you don't make entries, you don't submit your entries, it will be captured. But the research team will still need to be able to ensure that at the end of the day, that some consent is received, so that when the board is making a decision, they make a decision based on works or people whose works have the consent from their management or their labels. If we don't have the consent, then we don't.
So they were not nominated?
Because we don't have consent to participate.
Did you guys reach out to them?
The secretariat did what they are supposed to do. I don't want to get into the details, the baseline.
Because the thing is, these are like two of the biggest artists in Ghana.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
yeah.
is this: what they have been doing, reaching out, getting consent, or you filing, getting nominations and stuff, all of that thing, all the window and the engagements were in place.
Okay, so you guys made an effort to include them.
Oh, like we always do.
Okay.
Like we always do.
Okay,
we always do. So, like I'm saying, we open the doors to everybody.
Okay.
Everybody, anybody and everybody. As much as if we know of you and you are not in the scheme.
Once your works are out there.
Oh yeah, we'll reach out to you.
So like you said, the efforts were made because I mean, as fans, we're going to ask these questions, right?
I understand
want to see
you.
them win, yeah.
But like I'm saying, once you don't give us your consent,
Okay.
then it's difficult. We can't jump and say, hey, Charlie, Jason didn't give his consent to be part of this, but we are going to still no. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it seems like Stonebwoy wasn't happy with how he was reached out to. You know, in the letter he was like, okay, if you want to date, come and date. And you know, for someone who's worked for so many years, to him it felt like probably a slap in the face. I'm not saying directly from him, but you can understand where he's coming as big as an artist as he is on a human level.
I understand the English you're speaking.
Yeah.
But the reality.
Like, that's between you and them, right?
No, well, I understand, but Charlie.
Okay. I mean, we have a lot to talk about, but the main thing today is pushing these artists, right? So my team has a video which we're going to watch. When we come back, we're going to delve more into the conversation. I have the head of communications for Charterhouse in the studio. Enjoy.
I just make this thing clear to Charterhouse. And this year they talk them again. Don't think you can fool us, you understand me? Because you are not controlling the musicians union. So if you don't go respect yourself, and stop that they ban. In question, you me a mayama organa. We will go make government close Charterhouse. They go ban Charterhouse. What kind of foolish thing is that? Nonsense. In question, the Jimmy Mudo Ghana. Now, there's some people, the way they say they be board members, they take decisions. We tire with the nonsense. Me personally, I tire with the nonsense. No, what kind of stupid thing is that? They ban Shatawali and Stone. Jimmy now with the again. You know, you what they blame, but the artists, the Ghana artists, where they accept, so they nominate them, so they go award. One, they go borrow money, buy dress. They go borrow dress, they go borrow car, they go do things, and you can't sit there like they be cool. Foolish artists, foolish boys and girls. I can't submit some things to make people nominate me. I can't submit to make people nominate me. I want to stupid thing with that. No, you people don't have anything at the talk. You don't have anything.
Yo, your job must be difficult. I don't think I want your job. I like you being a big man. I like being part of such a big band like Charterhouse, right? When you see stuff like this, how do you feel? Like, is it hurtful? Do you take it in good stride and say, okay, because we have individuals we're representing to some extent, right? Because VGMA represents these artists. We've seen Artists of the Year go on to win bigger awards, bigger international awards because of Charterhouse and the VGMAs, basically. How does it make you guys feel when you see stuff like this?
It's obviously that is not how you'd be wanting people to react to your brand. But then again, the other side is people are entitled to their own opinions, and in a human society, you would always expect that it is normal to have people not to side with the way you go, because it's a human thing to disagree. You know, it's a human thing to disagree and to see the opposites. So you see a glass, somebody says it's half empty, somebody says it's half full, and both of you are right. It's just descriptions and, you know, the way you sit. So yeah, these things do happen, and there are precedents because there are precedents elsewhere in the world.
Yeah.
So when you look at the entertainment industry everywhere in the world, some of these elements are there. So when it happens to you, then you know that this is a thing that happens. So you just need to be able to develop the skin for it.
I mean, from my man himself, he obviously, it seems like he wasn't happy with the decision, but with reference to Charterhouse and the board and the VGMAs, are there any regrets with how the situation was handled. When I say in regrets, with how probably they were banned, you know, with their awards being rescinded, with the way they were reached out to come back with the letter, has there been in regrets, or have you guys thought, okay, maybe we should have gone about this another way, or do you stand by what you guys have done so far?
Okay, I'm not too sure with respect to the letter aspect. The letter that came out is the board's information that the ban has been lifted. And it was a clear press release that says that this is the situation. Once upon a time, we placed a ban on these folks. The ban has been lifted. So therefore, they can participate if they so desire to be in the scheme. So it's just like general information you're sharing. And the board,
That's why it was shared with the public.
exactly, you know. But before even the sharing of that official press release, yeah, we started engaging these people, you know, before the
So these
material-
things happened before it was even made public?
before the press release.
Before the press release?
Yes, before the press release. So the conversations
Yeah.
started, but the board went ahead to do what they thought they should do. You know, you understand. So it's okay. So is there a regret with sharing information with the public?
Okay,
No.
so that one
Is there-
obviously has been, you've explained why it was there. Now to the ban, is there a regret with the banning and the awards being rescinded? Do you guys think you probably should have done another way, or handled it another way, or you stand by it?
That's a board's decision.
Well, yeah, like communicating for the board, right?
Yeah, I understand, but why do you think they should have regrets, or they should be thinking otherwise? I'm not too sure where that one is coming from.
Because the reason why this is so is because fans weren't happy. I mean, what we do as entertainers, as you yourself, is for the fans. It's by the fans, right? It involves the fans. That's why we take their feedback. We're going to read a couple of messages as the show goes on. So this is why these things come up, you know, because people aren't happy, right? And now social media being so strong and everybody having more so of a voice. So we're going to get into more stuff, but we have some tweets. Like I said, this is for the fans, by the fans. You know, I'm sitting with my boss here. We're having a very interesting conversation. So let's go and post our tweets online. When we get back, we're going to get to the conversation. This is from Twilight. VGMA nominated Osekum Skinny in unsung category, and you think they should be taken seriously. I mean, come on. Anyways, Kofi Kinata said, who wins the Songwriter of the Year? So he's obviously invested Timu. Shout out to Kofi Kinata. And yeah, these things are always going to come out. From Proud Teddy, Kanye has 21 Grammys. He literally, leaked on a Grammy last year and still won this year. But VGMA will give Artist of the Year to someone who released 2 songs against one, with an EP and an album with over 13 hit songs in a year, because that person has won 2 of 10 nominations. Shaking my head. From Year of the Day, I don't think this is Koji Sheldon's official account, but this said, VGMA say make we know, compare them plus 3 music awards. Really, okay, I can't say that our nominations say. Okay, so we're going to get into all that. Obviously, some people disagree. From Beno Sark says, you said, hello, VGMA nominated Sarkodie. If you say Sarkodie, we file them, or them way nominate them by force. What them do last year, no, I not go waste my money this year. Wow. So, okay, a lot of stuff. They can take Stonebwoy away from VGMA, but they can't take Stonebwoy away from Reggae Dancer. Okay, so a lot of stuff. VGMA released nominations, and it's like nobody cares. Few Music Awards, okay, LMO, what kind of nominee list be this? VGMA DA. Okay, I think that was actually Sheldon. Why has Sheldon left the studio? I wish we had Sheldon here. Okay. We're going to get into all of this, the controversies and the fans not being necessarily happy, right? Were the plaques taken away from Stonebwoy and Shatta Wale?
Board conversations.
Were they taken away? Because you know.
Board conversations. You understand? I don't speak about the details and the conversations of the board.
But you speak for the board.
No.
Or you don't speak for the board?
I don't speak for the board.
So when are we going to have someone on the board here? Because see,
why are you asking me a question that
you know, the
rests
thing
with
is,
your hand?
the thing is, the fans feel like they deserve more in terms of knowing what's going on behind the scenes, and that has to do with transparency.
Oh, I understand you.
Yeah.
About transparency.
Exactly.
But transparency goes to where it's required. We're not going to share. We don't share. We cannot share our details. It is not required of us to do that.
So.
We share what is permissible and what is right.
Which makes sense.
Yes.
But if it's so, and there are fans who question the credibility of
Yes,
the
so
VGMAs,
when the
right?
fans question what is happening here, go and share your payroll with them because they are questioning. No, what I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying?
That makes
The
sense.
fact that you can share
So
information.
you're saying it's not everything you guys can put out
It's
there?
not everything you can put out there. And sometimes you choose to keep quiet about certain reactions because it is necessary. And the fact that people will rant and stuff, no. There's always, like there are things that people are asking me,
Yeah.
and I will decide not to tell you because I know it has negative implications. Sometimes not even for me. It may even be for the artist. But I'm not going to sit here to come and say it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there are things that we choose not to say. And I am confident and I can tell you that this one I choose not to say.
Not to say it.
Yeah, and it's not a fight. It's just a
Oh,
choice.
no, I mean, it's
no,
not a
I understand you.
fight.
I was
Yeah,
saying
but-
like it's not a fight. It's just a choice.
I mean, you're big. I can fight you. You probably-
Yeah, that's okay. But just don't forget I'm an Ewe. Anyways, let's go.
I love this guy. Okay. I think it's all about being professional, right? But do tweets like this get to you guys? When you see like a lot of people are not happy and question credibility, does it get to you guys a bit?
If people are not happy, we have to listen. And then when a lot of submissions come through, you have to sieve the submissions, and then, like they say, you separate the wheat from the chaff. What do you call it? Well, whatever. Yeah. So you basically sieve it, and then you just focus on the portions that you can work on, requires responses, and then you take. Because you see, some of the things that come your way may be criticisms, and may be constructive. Sometimes they may not be couched well, but in there's something valuable. You listen to it and you pick it up. Some you don't have to work with. So it's the ability to listen to all of the elements and discern and be able to clearly tell that, let me work with this and let me work with that. So you always go to these feedback with open-mindedness, just so that you can pick what is relevant and then move on. You can't sustain a brand for 22 years without listening to the public. I mean, it's difficult. Yeah, I mean, we are in this country. How many things last long? So for us to have come this far, it simply means that, yes, you may be stepping, well, some people may not be happy with you, but I'm sure that there are some things that we are doing right.
Has VGMA lost by Stonebwoy and Shatawale not being part of it? Lost in terms of, I don't know if I should say revenue, because I'm not sure you're going to share that with us, but in terms of the fans and people being involved, has VGMA lost?
Some of you could use certain metrics and say that by virtue of the fact that these two are not part, I mean, some portion or some numbers of their following may not be actively involved. So you can use that. But then again, the question is, I don't want to get into the analysis stage, but you can also say that, so does it mean that these two artists have following that the following are tied to only them, or the following follow other people? And if they follow other people, then, it's all of that. But unfortunately, I don't have the matrix to say, but in terms of fair language, once you lose participation of certain people, you also lose a section of their fan base. So that's a fair point.
Now, unfortunately, this happened last year, as we can see on our screens. To the people who say it was the organizers' fault for not holding these artists back because artists are emotional and they're going to do what they're going to do. Some say Stonebwoy was defending himself. Some say Shatawale was going to congratulate Stonebwoy. Do you guys take responsibility for this happening in terms of security not holding the entourage back? You guys take any form of responsibility for this?
You always take responsibility for everything you organize.
So yes. So there's some form of...
But there's not some form. There's always...
So you're taking responsibility.
Yeah. The reality is, this is a sad day, This is a sad day. You had all eyes on Ghana. You had people from UK. You had the ambassador, high commissioner to UK, they're present. You had ministers present. You had quite a number of people from the big world there coming to see Ghana celebrate their 20th anniversary in music. People from MTV, huge. And unfortunately, this happened, and it was quite sad. I think one of the things we did ahead of time was to amplify our security, try to engage people, try to engage artists, talk to them about how we can make things better, brief them about what is required and stuff like that. Oh, this is your sitting place, 5 seats or 4, whatever, reserved for you. When you come, this is where you're supposed to sit. All of those elements in there, just so that it's easier for everything to be managed. We can protect, all of that. And unfortunately, things just didn't go down well. So,
but hopefully, it's not going to happen again.
We pray so.
Yeah.
We pray so while working at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've had this for 19 years and it never happened. And on the 20th year, it happens. So you will still go back to the drawing board and see how you can always prevent it from happening. While praying as well.
I mean, as a fan, and a lot of fans just want to see these guys back. So I don't know, is there a possibility in the future they're going to get, hopefully, they're going to get back?
But the essence of lifting the ban is to say that anytime you're ready, from that moment that the ban has been lifted off, you can be a part of it.
So we're saying it's up to them now?
So it's like, so you have VGMA today. You don't have any issue with us. It is up to you to want to be a part.
Okay.
A ban has been placed on you. It means that you will not be able to be a part. The ban has been lifted. It's back to you having the power to decide, I want to or I don't want to. Whatever your decision is, we always respect it. But we don't have issues with you.
So you guys don't have any issues?
Yeah. So the ban clearly says that, ban being lifted says that we don't have any issue whatsoever with you, and you can be a part of it.
Like I said, as a fan, and a lot of fans just want to see them part of the award scheme, because these are 2/3 of the biggest artists in the country at the moment. So hopefully it can get sorted out. As I said, we're going to read more messages. But one thing is, now let's carry on.
Let me just quickly mention this.
Yeah.
But for those who think Charterhouse doesn't like these artists, that's not true. Just after this particular brouhaha on stage, we had a program in Nungwa.
Okay.
It was like a carnival.
Okay. Organized by Charterhouse?
Yes.
Okay.
The 2 artists were put on stage.
Oh.
It was in July. And this thing happened, was it in May? I think so.
Okay.
So just like 2 months now, we put the 2 acts.
And I mean, conversations had to be had.
So all we are saying is things happen. And again, like I said, we don't discuss everything because it's not necessary. But the reality is this: we don't have, like, these are artists. This is the show business is not all smooth. Sometimes it's rough. Roses come with the thorns on them. So you pick the rose and it's nice that you're celebrating about it. There are thorns that will prick you here and there. It's normal. You have a nice baby. Oh, this baby is cute. Remember, the baby may vomit or the baby may just poo-poo on you and stuff like that. It comes like that. So once you understand that this is how it is, this is how it is. So it's not like we don't like these folks. No, we like these folks. We've worked with them. We've done stuff with them. They've given their services. We've paid them money to be on platforms, on shows, they perform. We've worked together. So there's nothing like we don't. It's just a matter of we having a scheme. That's the VGMA. And the scheme has got its rules. And so they apply the rules as per what happened. Yeah. And then when they thought that it was the purpose of the ban had been served, they lifted it off. That's it. So it's nothing. It's not like somebody hates anybody or somebody wants to tarnish somebody's career. No, absolutely not. Okay.
So I mean, what I wanted to know from that conversation was whether the plaques were taken, but he said he can't tell us that.
I don't speak to the board elements.
I am going to use that roses and thorns thing. I really like that analogy for all the girls who think I'm a bad guy. I'm a rose with a little bit of thorns, but hey, we're all human. Carrying on with the conversation, again, guys, send us messages on MX24, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, go into his DMs, ask him questions just like I'm asking him today, and send me messages to follow us everywhere on social media, right? Now, with our job, our line of work, people are always going to compare us, as artists, as DJs. There's always going to be that competition. I mean, we've seen 2 artists beefing because it started on social media. And like I said, right now, it seems like the fans have even more of a voice. What do you think about the 3 Music Awards?
What about it?
What do you think about it? Did you enjoy it? Was it cool? Was it dope? Did you go to it?
Is it a show that we had to go to?
Oh, why? No. I mean, it's music, and we're all about the music.
I understand you, but it's not open. It wasn't a program that was open to the public. I think that okay. So baseline, I think they're doing good for themselves. Yeah, and it's an improvement. Whatever they did this year's own. Okay, so let me just put the things properly. When you do your music awards, obviously you do it for the people.
Exactly.
Once you get feedback from the people that is good, you're good. The rest doesn't matter.
Okay.
So obviously, based on feedback and reactions, the writing is on the wall. People like it.
Yeah. Do you think they've raised the bar artistically, aesthetically, presentation-wise? Has the bar been raised? Because a lot of people are saying, like, now VGMA has come to, like I said, whether we like it or not, people are going to say these things. People are going to pit two people together. It might not be so behind the scenes. But do you think there's a feeling of they've raised the bar, so we have to do, that has given us more reason to do even way better than last year?
Okay, so they've raised the bar in their right. VGMA is about live stage performances. This is not live stage performances. This is like video. No, not pre-recorded, like live stage. A live stage performance can be pre-recorded. So for example, the lady that came to do the unsung here right now, we can record it and then show it. And it is called pre-recorded. But it doesn't mean that it is live, it's not live. This is live performance that she did. And then you can record it and then play back. That's different from some like a music video kind of feel. You understand? So if you watch that, you see the artistic expression in terms of music video direction and stuff like that. That's like more like a music video feel. And that's different. So in that, I'm saying in their right.
But they also give out awards just like the VGMAs. Whether it is pre-recorded.
I'm not saying you're not getting me. It's not about it being pre-recorded.
Okay, that aside.
It's about, that's what I'm saying, that VGMA is about live stage performances. You get there, this is the stage I'm performing. Perform, you kill it, case closed, finish.
Okay.
All happens, if you have 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes, and you're done, you're gone. Yeah. The two are not the same.
Okay, in that respect.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You see, just let's get it straight.
Yeah.
There's Grammys. There's American Music Awards. There's Billboard Awards.
Yeah. There's the AMAs, the BMAs.
And each one of them have got what they stand for. You understand? So if Grammys is doing what they do in their rights, it is you have to use the elements in their rights to be able to evaluate them. That's what I'm saying. So if somebody is doing something that is heavy artistically with respect to video, then it is in that right. If somebody is doing something on stage, live performance. So Jason, you come, I give you a microphone, and you have 5 minutes to kill it. You don't have cut. Okay, let's take this, relax, go and come and drink a milk a little bit, come. Okay, so we are going to create this set and then you come and then we shoot. Are you ready? Let's go. And then you go. Then when you finish, you capture all the elements and you go to the editing bench. And the two are not the same. That's what I'm saying, that in that right,
okay,
they have raised, in that right. And this one is also different.
Okay, now in the right of giving
you understand what I'm saying?
Awards, in the right of giving awards, are they giving the VGMAs a run for their money?
I'm not. That's why I'm not clear.
Yeah, because the reason why I ask this is, like you said rightly so, and it makes sense. There are Grammys, there are BMAs, there are AMAs, there are VMAs, and this and that and that. Even in the movie industry, there are Oscars and everything else. But it seems like Ghana, like you said, for the past 22 years, has been only the VGMAs in terms of the biggest platform to giving artists awards. Now, 3 Music Awards comes, and they're doing quite a good job, like you rightly said, rightly so. It's not the same thing in terms of the aesthetic and what the organizers put out there, but in terms of giving away or giving out awards.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's like, so, okay, I'm finding your question hard to understand. It's like asking if, for example, Foresight is giving awards. And they're asking, so is Foresight giving me a run for my money?
So asking from the fans.
Everybody, I understand you. As for the fans,
you
don't dwell too much. It's not every time you dwell on the elements of the fan base when it comes to certain things. There are things you dwell on them. There are other things that you choose to.
But they vote for the awards to be given. So
they are part of the people who vote. Our voting tier it's a 3-tier voting scheme. So we have the board, we have the academy, and then we have the public. And there are certain things that are not, they don't even have, they are not part of the people who decide in terms of the votes. So they do not contribute in some of the categories. So when it comes to best male vocal performance, female vocal performance, record of the year, or songwriter of the year, or those technical components. It's not meant for the public.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you go to American Music Awards, for example, that is the people's choice. So the people, that is the public, they decide everything. So their decision is what really counts. If you go to Grammys, you don't even have the public making an input. So because everything decided by 11,000 plus Academy members who make decision. And when you go to the Billboard, it's also a different rule altogether. So each one of them with their clear differentiation. And so when you want to evaluate, that's why I'm sorry, but it's because I have a little bit more knowledge. I'm not just able to take things on the surface.
I mean, of course, that's why you're here.
Analyze
to
it,
explain
just to
these
be able
things
to.
right?
So basically, that's what I'm saying. That in terms of what they did, looking at their year before, looking at what they've done, because last year was still virtual, and this year they still did it virtual. Obviously, as you can see, the applause for this year is higher than what happened last year, and so it's clear and they have chosen. They selected a particular path that served them well, and I think that's good on their side. So yes, they've done well. You understand? Nice. So that's what I'm saying. So how is that different from what we do? This is more like heavy on artistic direction, production, video, etc. And this is heavy on live stage performances. So
I mean, you're just doing what you're doing, right? In terms of, respect to the VGMAs, what you've been doing rightly so for 22 years. So
no, I'm just explaining as it is,
Yeah, I mean, that is what it is. So VGMAs this year, what's new, what's different? I think that's the first thing we started off with, but to get more in depth, I mean, I don't think you're going to give us everything, but what should we expect?
Why do you think I'll not give you everything?
Yeah, I know you're not going to give me everything.
Oh.
Are you going to give me everything that's going to happen this year?
Everything.
There are no surprises?
Charlie, everything. What do you want? Tell me, hit me.
Any international artist?
Yeah.
Who?
To be discovered.
You see?
Yeah, I gave you something.
Okay, give me something. How, in terms of artists from different regions, are we going to have the Asaka Boys? Are they going to be legends like we've always had? Is there going to be Sarkodie? Just tell us something we don't know. Tell us something you don't know. Yes.
Okay, let me look for what you don't know.
Anything.
What you don't know is that we are going to have an amazing time.
Oh, come on.
Okay. Reality is, it's one of the key things you like to do is to allow the things that is pertinent right now to enjoy its bits or its time. So we just had the nominees come out. A lot of people are having the conversations about nominees and stuff like that, and so let that one enjoy its moments. And then we go to the next phase, and then we go to the next phase, and then we go to the next phase. If we drop all the info, then it's going to be like, anticlimactic in certain ways in terms of the information share. So we just want to, forgive me, but I have to stay true to the ethics of communication.
Yeah, we know.
That's it. But it's going to be an interesting year, and there are quite a number of things that we took from last year. Some things we wanted to implement last year, we couldn't, obviously because of the COVID. Some things we wanted to implement last 2 years, and we had made plans to implement last year, and the COVID came and it couldn't happen. So and stuff like that. So all of these elements are being factored, and we are looking to just deliver something that is out of the box for us, out of the box in terms of what we are used to. And then just to be able to match up to some international standards and angles that we are seeing and where we see music going. You want to be able to get into that particular space. I mean, Jason, people are making it rain on stage.
They are.
As in, like, you are watching the performance and it's raining.
Yeah, I think BET Awards 2013, Chris Brown and Ciara were performing and it was raining. And there was water and stuff.
That's what I'm saying. That's like, I'm like, okay, people are making it rain. So if it's...
You always have to push.
Exactly, I mean, you've done music video, for example, if you want to make it rain in a music video, that's like, you manufacture your things and get it done. But on stage,
something else.
And we need to be able to get to that point, so those are some of the things that we're pushing ourselves to be able to try and achieve,
So we do wish you guys all the best, because these conversations, the artists, they get us out there, we see our artists collaborating. But before you do leave us, with reference to COVID, is there going to be, are fans going to be there? Are fans going to be separated? Is it going to be live? People want to know these things.
Okay,
How's
so
that gonna happen?
right now the baseline is whatever we are able to do is heavily dependent on the president's decision or the state of the nation as of the time we're about to do the event with respect to COVID.
Okay.
If COVID restrictions are eased, it makes it easier for us to do certain things. If they are not eased, then it's difficult. We have to change the approach that we are going to use. So these are some of the things that can heavily impact what the outcome of our finale is going to be like. But if you asked me today, what is it going to be like? We'll say, we probably want to have what we had last year. Where you have some industry folks, and then you had, an awesome performances on stage and beam across the nation and then beam across the internet. That's it.
Okay, so thank you so much for coming through. Very quickly, what do you want to tell the fans in terms of what they should expect? Just a general before you leave us. What do you want to tell the fans?
The first one is Jason is... Okay. On a more serious note...
Jason is what? You're my friend!
No, if I say it, you might just lose you may lose some following. But let me just go ahead. So on a more serious note...
my heart. Anyway.
VGMA is we're happy we're 22, and it's okay. Sometimes you may not understand what we do and how we do. We will not relent to inform you or share information with you. Platforms of this nature offers us such opportunity, and we will share. Know that everything we do, there's always a reason, but the reasons are not negative. And even though we may be mute on certain things, it is because we're just being ethical in our operations. And so ultimately, we are here for the music. We are here for the industry's growth and development. And for as long as we've done this for 22 years, these are things we can clearly point out to, because people can clearly speak about good things that have happened to them by virtue of them being a VGMA. And we don't intend to stop. And who knows, maybe tomorrow you may be the one supporting the brand, because somebody does a little and then they move on, and somebody else will have to come and take over.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming through. So that's Head of Communications for Charterhouse. Right now we have to go for a quick commercial break. Check out everything we just spoke about on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Be a part of the conversation. Like he rightly said, we give these platforms or this space for you guys to be part of the conversation. So send us messages everywhere on social media, criticize, question, anything you want to do, we're here for you. So quick commercial break. When we get back, we have a nominee we're going to be speaking to. I'm not going to give that away yet. Then we're going to talk to our unsung star, I'm Jason LA, live on MX24, plus 233 chat. Enjoy. We're still live right here on MX24 plus 223 chat. We're getting loads of messages. Thank you guys so much. Keep them coming through. And I always say it's all about conversation with you guys. So when we have the guests, be a part of the conversation. You know, we post the guests we're going to have before the show. So you can send us messages before we do have the guests, just like we read on social media. It's all about you and it's all for you, right? I'm your host, Jason LA. Follow me on social media at JasonE_A. But as promised, right now we have a very international lady, you know, even though she's done it super when it comes to locally in terms of her music, her brand, pushing her artistry, performing on the biggest stages, having the biggest songs. And she's been nominated for this year's VGMAs, like we spoke of, you know, to the head of communications, Robert, from Charterhouse. Right now we have her on Zoom. She goes by the name Adina. So just in case you're a fan, listen to this conversation. Ask her anything you want to ask her, and I'm gonna be your guide through the conversation we're gonna have with Adina. So we're gonna go to her right now. We're gonna try and get her live on our Zoom here on MX24. So we're gonna get this for you. But guys, remember, keep the messages coming through on Instagram, on Twitter, on social media. And with everything we talk about, like I said, it's all about questioning and criticizing. We don't mind. So Adina, I think we have Adina right now. Hello. Adina!
Hi.
Adina! What kind of relationship is this?
Jason. So what?
Congratulations, though. We're going to talk about that later. But congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Adina, before we get into our conversation, I think I've known you for a while now. Not when you began music, but as you were becoming the star you are today.
Early stages.
And you've done an incredible job. And I'm not just saying this because we're on TV, but from the interviews we've had, from what you've been through as an artist, you know, as a woman, you know, getting your music out there, I just want to say you've done so well. Congratulations again. Are you used to hearing this? All these, are you used to it right now? Being one of the biggest artists in the country.
I never get used to it because, I mean, I just, I don't.
Yeah, so not just for the VGMAs, but you just won the Ended 3 Music Awards. You're winning on multiple platforms. How does that feel to know you're being seen by the fans, by the viewers, by the organizers on multiple platforms, Adina?
I always say it's overwhelming. It's an honor and it's empowering to see that all these different platforms are recognizing the hard work that my team and I are putting in just to make sure that the fans are okay. It's always such an honor. I'm always honored and humbled.
Yeah, I know you personally, and I know you're speaking the truth. So please keep on doing what you're doing. We know you're gonna win more. We know you're gonna do bigger things. But
Amen.
One thing I wanted to talk about today is your representation, basically now, you know, for women in the creative arts and even other industries. You're that face for them, for a lot of young girls who want to be like Adina, who in some respect want to be Adina. Do you think, as a lady, we're getting to that space, or we're in that space where women are being as acknowledged as they should be? Because this is what a lot of people have been fighting for.
Yes, I believe so. And I think that is something that didn't just start with me. We've got different faces at different stages in this industry and in our lives as Ghanaians, where different artists have, like I said, been the face, and they've contributed in little pockets. They say little drops of water make a mighty ocean.
Yeah.
I believe that everybody's contribution from the very beginning up till now is what's really like catapulted us to where we are right now. And yeah, I think it's been a gradual process, but my representation now is a clear indication that we're here and we're here to stay.
Yeah. Awesome. For those who don't know, behind the scenes, do you think like we have natural constraints when it comes to women in everything, you know, families, putting out music, you know, keeping up your brand? Do you think for the woman it's more so difficult? Is that the case?
I think it's difficult both ways, but men have been. I'm choosing my words carefully. Men have been. It's like the whole world has joined in with men to help them figure out their difficulties. So it's easier for them. but it's not easier for them just because they're men. That's like a double standard I've said right now. It's not easy. It's difficult for all of us, right? But for men, it's like generally with the whole world, everybody's helped them walk them through their challenges. So men have sort of figured it out. But for women, a lot of people don't even pay attention to our challenges. They just kind of push it aside. So that's why it looks like it's harder for women. It's because we don't even know where to begin. We don't even know how to figure it out. I don't know if I made sense there.
Yeah, I get you. I get you perfectly. I mean, that's why there are artists
Yeah.
like you who are pushing this thing of let's get women to that place. You know, that's why there are people like you.
Yeah,
That's why
because
we're
for
having these
me-
conversations.
Because for me, I never feel like being a woman like it's an excuse. I don't want to have. I feel like saying, "Oh, it's harder because I'm a woman," is just me making excuses. You know what I mean?
Nice.
I believe that it's possible for a man and a woman to push head to head. Is that the expression? Head to toe, whatever the expression is. It's possible for us to all work hard, and it's possible for all of us to achieve. There shouldn't be a situation where it's like, oh, because she's a woman, because she just gave birth, she can't do it. For me, I'm always looking for the ways around it to make sure that it works out, because we can't perpetually be walking around believing that just because we're women, we will always get the shorter end of the stick. You know, there are other women in the world that have made it. So what's our excuse really? So I always believe that saying because I'm a woman is harder is really just making an excuse. It's possible. And there are times when I've failed and I just have to hit myself and say, let's go, Charlie. You don't have an excuse. People are making it, so can you. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that is the best mentality you can teach a young boy, a young girl, you know, not making excuses, getting up, dusting yourself off, and getting to be Adina one day, right? Basically. So, again,
Or
man,
even much, much better.
yeah, that's the right mind. So, to more fun stuff, do you think you're going to win at this year's VGMAs? Let me ask you this, do you ever expect to win awards with how big you are right now? Do you ever have that mindset?
No, I don't. Because it's always a nerve-wracking experience for me whenever I go to the awards. Even for categories that I clearly know that, you know, the nomination is the real recognition because there are other strong contenders. I still have butterflies in my stomach. Like I always have butterflies in my stomach when they mention my name. It feels like they're about to give me a sentence, like a death sentence. So I never know if I'm going to win or not. I just hope and pray. And if it doesn't, I'm like, okay, good. Congratulations to whoever won. You know, that's always the vibe.
Yeah. One thing I do know about you personally is like you keep the ball rolling, and that's really impressive. With no matter the awards you've won or the hits you've had, it seems like you keep releasing projects and keep working on yourself as an artist. So rightly so, what do you have for us? I know artists don't like to give away too much to upcoming projects, but any more music, any more albums, any more features, international features? What's the plan for Adina right now in the next few months?
Ooh, I'm ready to spread my wings and fly. I have projects lined up. You know, the album Araba, which not interestingly, I'm thankful I got a nomination, which is my very first album. So there's still songs on there that don't have videos. And so we're working hard on shooting videos for the other songs to give it more visibility, to make sure that it travels farther and wider. But I also have other projects that are in the pipeline that I'm working on. I'm looking to spread my wings and fly, you know, collaborate with people that I can collaborate with and just make some music magic.
Man, you're gonna fly, Adina. I mean, I believe in you. You're inspiration. Whenever I tell you this in person, you never believe me. You're an inspiration to me. I don't know why you don't believe me. I think
Amen.
you're the most nominated, right? Am I mistaken?
Yes, I
What?
am. I didn't even realize
Wow.
it until the end. I was like, wait a minute.
Do you have a favorite category? That's a tricky question. I know that's a tricky question. I shouldn't have done this, but you have to tell
It
us.
is, isn't it? I have favorites.
Favorites. Okay, mention 2 or 3 of your favorites.
I'll give 3. Album
Okay.
of the year,
Okay.
reggae dancehall song of the year.
Okay.
Like, I'm still in a dream. Somebody needs to wake me up because I just decided to try reggae. I had a solid team that backed me to put that, you know, a lot of effort into the record, and already I've won an award for it and I'm getting nominated for it. And it's like, wow, I wanted to I really love reggae, so I was like, let's give it
Yeah.
a try, and look how far it's going.
Yeah.
So that's a very interesting category for me. Album of the year, like I said, and the next one would be Artist of the Year, because I've been nominated in the VGMAs for a very long time, since 2011.
Wow.
And I've always been seeing people get nominated for Artist of the Year, Artist of the Year. And to me, I always feel like it should be something that is deserving. I should put in a lot of work. So to see my name up there with all the other people, it's such an honor. And if ever I've felt like I needed a moment to feel like the nominations were real honest, or like a real award to me, it's this time, because it means that in 10 different categories, I've been acknowledged as one of the artists that worked really hard in the year of review. That's huge to me. That is amazing. You have no idea how I feel. And I'm really, really thankful to God and to everybody that's been supportive, and we won't stop.
Yeah. Please don't stop. Please giving us some good music. Now we have music to play to the ladies when they're not picking our calls. So thank you very much on that note. Adina, what do you want to tell your fans, to that young girl who wants to be like you, like I said, to that young boy, to up and coming artists? What do you want to tell your fans and your people, basically?
All I want to say is, when you set off in life, there's so many challenges. There's so much happening in the world. There's so many things that could distract you easily. And you just need to be careful. You just need to keep your eye on the prize. If you believe that whatever it is you want to be, you can be it, then don't listen to what anybody tells you. Keep the fire burning. Keep pushing. Research about it. Do everything you need to do to grow yourself in that aspect or industry, and watch yourself do amazing things.
Yeah, do amazing things. So since we're in a coronavirus period where we're getting out of it, I don't know if you're going to give me a hug or a fist, but I want a hug. I mean, come on,
me too. I can't wait to
hug
people.
Hug me, Adina. Hug me. Yeah, I take it. Adina, thank you so much for talking to us. Congratulations. Here at MX24, we appreciate you so much. We're going to continue to push your music. I can't wait to have you on the show, Adina. When are you coming through? Soon?
Yes. When am I coming on the show?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to work on it. We're going to talk. Cool?
Yeah.
Cool. So, guys, please vote for this beautiful girl. She's an amazing artist. We know she's going to do bigger things. And thank you so much for speaking to us. So what we're going to do is we're going to enjoy your music video. Enjoy it with us. Thank you so much for talking to me, darling. Enjoy.
Before I make you my boo, but you're not really ready for this glow. I could see I need Jessica, need me. Every other night's a different girl, I can't believe it. Do I have to tell you how I feel before you see me? Can you tell me why? Why oh, why oh, can you tell me why oh, why oh, boy, who you taking home tonight? I did feel you and I don't go lie, but who you taking home tonight? Oh, say boy, who you taking home tonight? I did feel you and I don't go lie, who you taking home tonight? Where you and your mom and I so make say who jive. Baby boy, I got your back, intimacy guy. Tell me could I not you promise who die? Where you and your mom and I so make say who jive. Baby boy, I got your back, intimacy guy. I hate that I love you. Oh, boy, who you taking home tonight? I did feel you and I don't go lie, but who you taking home tonight? different, girl, I can't believe it. Do I have to tell you have a few before you see me? Can you tell me why? Why, oh, why, oh, can you tell me why, oh, why, oh, why? Who you taking home tonight? I did feel you and I know the lie, but who you taking home tonight? So I say, boy, who you taking home tonight? I did feel you and I know the lie. Who you taking home tonight?
So that was Adina, and guys, like I said, with these artists, you know, everything they put out there, please keep supporting them. You know, the entertainment industry in other countries, like it builds so much revenue. Like, you know, we hear about tourism, which is very important, everything else, but the entertainment industry has to be taken as seriously. I think that's why MX24 and myself, we do these things to have these conversations. So please vote for Adina, and you know, all the other artists on the VGMAs, on the 3 Music Awards, keep supporting them and keep supporting these platforms that gives the artists the space to express themselves. Yeah, and support me too if you want to. You know, at Jason LA on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere else, and follow MX24 and be a part of the family. And one thing I want to do is I want to have fans on the show. I'm working on something to have fans on the show. So the more messages you send us, I just might have you on the show. But like I said, when we began, what we want to do is want to give artists who we believe deserve a wider platform, this space, to come and talk to us. So we're going to call them our unsung stars. You know, we're calling them stars before even anyone else calls them stars, because we believe they are stars. And for my first show, I have an amazing talent. She's been on multiple competitions. She's released singles, worked with some legends. She performed when we began. She goes by the name Lucia, and I'm going to waste no time. I think I should have a drum roll.
You
know,
should.
that intro was for you. How you doing, Lucia?
Hi,
You look
fine,
lovely.
Thank you.
Is this how you look every
Thank
day?
you. Well, every day, I don't think people can handle it.
Yeah,
Or I can handle it,
I
so
can't
it's
handle
not
it.
every
Yeah, it's
day. Yeah.
But Lucia, again, thank you so much for coming
Thank
through.
you.
And yeah, we're happy to have you here.
Thank
For
you.
those who don't know, let's dive straight into it. Who is Lucia?
Basically, Lucia is a music lover. Yes, my whole life is about music, so that is what I am. Yeah, all
Where-
about music.
Did you, since you were young, are you saying?
Since I was a baby, you can say,
Wow.
because my mom sings as well. My
Okay.
dad,
Wow.
yeah, was a singer as well, and yeah, he used to dance as well too. He used to do the Michael Jackson move, so I think that I have that
your
in
dad?
me. Oh, he passed away when I
Oh,
was
sorry.
about 9 years. So.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Deepest condolences. And
okay.
he's going to live in anyone who touched hearts, right?
Oh yeah, he is in me, so he's not truly gone.
No, he's not
yeah.
going to. Oh, so sorry. So I guess for you, it wasn't difficult entering music. The reason why I say this is because, if we're being honest, this part of the world, you know, you tell your parents, I want to be an actor, I want to be a presenter, I want to be
I
an artist. You
know.
know, there's.
Yes.
Did you ever have that issue, or were
Well,
you fully supported?
Yes, I really do celebrate my mom a lot because after secondary school, I told her I was going straight into music. And anybody wants the child to, you know, after school, they ask you, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
They want to hear stuff like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be that. But I didn't say any of those things. I mean, she said, I work in the corporate world. I can get you into my office, you know that. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I want to do music. So after my tertiary education, I went into full-time music. Before that, when I was about 14 years old, I joined a competition, Mentor.
Exactly. Now let's
Yes.
talk about this.
I joined Mentor.
Before we focus on why you joined, before we focus on joining Mentor, why did you join Mentor? Why did you think it was necessary for you to be a part of a competition as big as that?
Okay, so first of all, I was thinking about the free gifts.
Okay.
Like comes with
That's
it, but
normal,
yeah.
that's normal.
So I felt like it was, but honestly, I felt like it was a big platform for me to, because when I was in secondary school, my teachers were like, we know she's definitely going to join the competition because I was very popular at school because I used to do everything at entertainment.
All the
you know.
boys
But
were
I
the
didn't
kids.
want to be noticed, so I would
Okay.
wear a mask, like I'll wear something on my face. Yes, because I didn't want people to know. I just wanted to sing and have fun. Yeah, but somebody gave me away, and everybody knew that it was
It was you, right?
it was me. So I have been doing music for a very long time. When I was in the primary school, I was in the barracks, Volta region. Yes, I grew up in the barracks, and I used to perform for the soldiers.
Wow.
officers. I used to act. I used to dance.
That must have been a
sing.
tough crowd.
Oh yeah, I was the star.
Wow.
So
She's
it
got
started. Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
started with it because
awesome.
these were big guys. They could invite any artist, but I
Yeah.
was as young as 8 to 9 years. I was performing for them, and they'll give me rice, as payment.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was fun, and I felt like I could do it. So that is how it started for me. Entertainment at school. When the teachers were having their PTA meetings, they would call me to do some Celine Dion songs. Because I really used to do some Celine Dion songs.
There are certain artists, if you can perform to their music, like Celine Dion, like
Oh, I
Whitney
love
Houston,
her. Oh, yes.
then that means you
I
really
love
know
her.
what
I
you're
have
about.
been listening to her and Michael Jackson since I was a child. So I can sing her song like back to back. So
Okay.
at school, I was called Celine Dion. They used to call me Celine Dion.
Okay,
Because I used
so
to
I'm
act
sitting
like
here with Celine Dion. Lucia,
Please, that's too much.
give us a line on Celine Dion. One line, please.
Oh,
Our first live performance on the show.
I get wings to fly. Oh, I'm alive.
Wow! That's incredible. The thing is, you actually performed live before.
Yes, yes.
Is it nerve-wracking when you're performing? Do you get nervous?
I think that you need that every time to give a good performance because the moment I feel like it's okay, I'm going to do this and come back, and then I don't take it
take it for
seriously.
granted.
Yes,
Okay.
but when you feel that you want to give your fans the best all the time, so that is what gives you. So yeah, I feel it.
Nice one.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little
Every
bit,
time.
A little bit. Now we just spoke to Adina, as you saw, and she's doing amazing as a female, as a woman, and we spoke about women empowerment. You know, she's the most nominated artist at this year's VGMAs, and that's incredible on its own. How do you feel about being a woman in this industry? Because you are part of the industry. Do you think women are given the space? Do you think we should do more to push women? How do you feel about the whole scope of that?
I think that we have had enough conversation about people pushing women, men pushing women. I think we should talk more about women pushing women, because
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a big problem right now because women feel like the moment they promote or talk about the fellow woman, it takes something away from them. And I always say that behind every abusive husband, boyfriend, whatever, there is a woman. You know, I feel like we are killing ourselves. We are our own enemies, and I think that is what we need to be talking about more. Yes.
Okay, that's true. Now, one thing we hear on social media, or even from female artists, is managers taking advantages, especially of female artists. Have you ever experienced this? Is this true? Because I'm sure you've worked with a lot of people. What do you have to say on this topic in regards to managers taking advantage of their artists? Is this the case? Especially new artists.
It's true. Yes, I have.
Wow.
I know some colleagues who have experienced that, but I haven't because I don't know how it starts though. But sometimes I'm not gonna be against women. Please, that's not it. But I feel like sometimes we push ourselves into it. We feel like they expect that from us.
Okay.
As a thank you. You know, because I got an executive producer who really helped me. But at one time, I asked myself, when is he going to ask the question? Because he's not asking. I asked myself, like, he's being so nice. He's doing everything. I had the biggest lunch. So I asked, when is he going to ask the question?
It's been drilled and it's expected for someone to
Yes,
take
so I
advantage.
asked myself, when is he going to ask the question? And it was never the case. So I feel like we put ourselves into it sometimes. Yes.
Okay, so
A lot of women are going to hate me for this, but it's the truth.
So what is always there's a problem, and to the problem there's a solution. So how would you feel we shouldn't, or ladies shouldn't push it? For those who do, I mean, it's not always the case, like I said, but for those who get themselves into those situations, what do you think they should do to avoid those situations where managers taking advantage of them?
I feel like they should work on their self-esteem. It has a lot to do with, sometimes you can't believe it. You can't believe you are the one getting the platform. You can't believe, you don't have a lot of belief in yourself. So I think that if you believe in yourself and you trust in yourself, you don't give yourself out to say a thank you to somebody. You know you deserve it. You deserve it. So I feel like you have to work on your self-esteem. If you think you don't sound good enough, you should get some training. If you think you don't like the way your size, you should work out. You should eat well, sleep well, drink a lot of water. Work on yourself, and so you don't feel like you have to say
So
thank
basically,
you.
you shouldn't feel like you owe someone.
No, you don't owe
don't owe
anybody.
someone.
Just
Cool,
believe
cool.
that you have the talent enough because, yeah.
Have you always
deserve
been
it.
this confident?
No, I had to work on it because, well, I have been on the stage since I was a child. But like I said, every time I got on the stage, I had to, pinch myself because
Yeah.
it's always nerve-wracking. So yeah, so not all the time. Not all the time. I had to work on myself.
Okay. Now the VGMAs are coming up. Do you ever see yourself being a part of it? When are we seeing your nomination? What do you think about the VGMAs and yourself being a part of it? Do you think it's going to happen anytime soon?
Okay, yeah, it is because I just released my single "Men's Son" featuring Nana Fen about a month ago. I spoke with my manager a week ago and I said, when are we going to be on it? Can't we be on it this year? So that tells you that I have a lot of belief and I know we are going to get there very soon. Yes.
Now, let's also talk about some. Have you ever worked with any big artists or mainstream artists before in terms of vocalists or just legendary artists so far in your career?
Yes, I have. I have worked with Bessa Simons. Oh. Yes, he helped produce my 2 songs, Love Is Not Enough and True Love, about 4 years ago. And I have been with him. I have been with him for about 6 years. I'm still with him, yes. So I think we can call Akwaboah a legend because he's maybe a legend in the making.
Yeah.
I have worked with him as well. And Willie Roy. And some few others. I have worked with Ben Bracco. Yeah,
Who's your favorite vocalist in Ghana? I know sometimes artists don't like to be put on the spot, but do you have a favorite vocalist,
we don't
whether
like
female or
it.
male? Who's your favorite?
Can I give 2? Because
Okay.
one would just.
I mean, you're Lucy and you're my friends. I'm going to give 2.
It may be 3.
Lucy,
because
okay.
I believe Ifya is great.
Yeah.
She's amazing, and I love Adina not because she just appeared, but I love her. I feel like she's I love her confidence too.
Nice,
Yes, I love her. I love.
So
The third one. I didn't want to be in trouble, so I have to say 3.
Yeah.
Who is the third one?
I love
Who's the
good
third
vocalists.
One? Yeah, we have.
love
We
good-
do have that talent,
Yeah.
that much of talent in Ghana. We should believe in ourselves.
Nice one.
Yeah, the Grammys we have to go
Nice
for
one.
it.
So God willing, we're going to see you there soon.
Oh yeah,
So what's your latest single though? Before you do leave us, and what's your latest single?
Yeah, it's Men's Son featuring Nana Fen.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What's it about? Are you telling your boyfriend not to change?
I'm telling you not to change. I'm telling everybody not. Yeah. Everybody in a relationship.
Is it based
not
off
to
personal
change.
experience?
Well, I no, but I feel like no. Let me not say anything else, but it's just no.
Okay, next time when we have her on, we're going to continue with that little stuff. But where can we find your social media very quickly before we wrap up?
I'm Lucia Music GH on Facebook, at Lucia Music GH on Instagram, and Twitter at Lucia Music GH. YouTube, Lucia Music.
That's LUCIYA.
Yes.
Nice
yes.
one. Thank you so much for coming
Thank you.
through
Thank you.
MX24. We're going to continue to support you. Bring your music videos.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You have been playing the music video.
Yes,
yeah.
but bring some more.
All right, sure.
Yeah, please bring some more. Lucia's going to be performing again before she leaves. That's what we're all about, giving artists the space, the platform. I keep on saying the space, the platform, because that's what it is about. Send us messages on social media, be a part of the conversation. Every single Saturday, we're going to have guests come through. We're going to talk to them about stuff that you guys want to talk about, basically, in terms of award shows, in terms of artists, DJs, presenters. We're going to have bloggers on, people from MX24. This has officially been my first Plus 223 chat, and it's been amazing. I've got loads of messages. I'm going to retweet and respond to as many as possible. But for anything you missed, go on our social media pages again. We post videos on YouTube. We talk about the songs we did play and the artists we did have on our social media pages. So basically, you actually don't miss anything. But always tune in live right here Saturday from 11 till noon. It's been an amazing show. Thank you so much. And I am your host, Jason Ale. I've got my desk, which I'm very happy for. I've got my horse, my books, because I read a lot. Guys, you have been so amazing. So right now, this is Lucia, but I want to give a special thanks to my guests, Adina, Roberta, Lucia, who's going to be performing, my team, camera, light, and everything. An amazing set. Roberta, everyone, thank you so, so much. You guys have been incredible. So right now, live on my show, this is Lucia, Unsung Star for today. Enjoy.
Jomiwu, Tieti Wafuano, leave me in the cold. Ansawe Busa Seba Niseni, Ankamewu, yeah, my coma was some mebo. Love is more than gold. Odo mi ja when I'm at the whiny. Family, I'll be your woman for all times. Oh, here mu was he came wo. Hi mu wa usumu. Jimmy D, may I was show my children will cry like the shadow by your side. Boy, I will be there for a time. Me say, Momon can your mubeka. Me see your door means a son. Other con your door woe. Intermediate means a son. Or day, yenyami yama. Intermediate means a son. Or bray munye besipia. I have a friend in you. Okro me to say ohima, mami chimu nyemede, na me yoba, and fawodo intame. No never. Shashe me wapaki mu, ne yeme hini, wakume mu, na yenua na mihiya, odo wenua na mepe. Momon can your mubeka. Missy your door means a son. Other can your door woe. Intermediate means a son. Or day in Yamiyama. Intermediate means a son. Or bray munye besipia.